Hello everyone, Darren here. Today's episode is on how to play the Grille 15. It is a very big paper tank that many people seem to consider it being purely a sniper. But that is not the case, as this tank is also very capable of being aggressive in the right hands and right situations. So, let's get started on looking at how to play the Grille 15. Now, the armor on the Grille 15 is pretty much like its lower tier brothers and non-existent. In short summary, this tank is a magnet for HE rounds or anything with a high alpha damage gun. Coupled with the fact of non-existent armor and a large engine deck, and you are a recipe for being an artillery magnet as well if they decide to target you when spotted and you happen to be stationary. Any shot that you bounce should be considered a miracle in all meanings of the word. Now, in terms of mobility, the Grille 15 is pretty speedy with a forward speed of 60 kilometers per hour and a respectable reverse speed of 15 kilometers per hour. This means you should have no problem getting to where you need to go or reversing out of danger if you make a mistake. Now, in terms of fire chance, the Grille 15 has a 15% chance of fire, so while I recommend running a fire extinguisher, you can forgo the fire extinguisher if the necessary crew skills and perks are trained. Now, in terms of firepower, the Grille 15 has a laser beam of a gun. The base accuracy is an awesome .27 with a great aim time of 1.5 seconds. The only major downside is the base reload of 16.5 seconds, though this is understandable since the gun is a large caliber 15 centimeter gun. Also, with a gun depression of 8 degrees and an elevation of 15 degrees, this means you shouldn't have too much trouble fighting in and around ridgelines and hills, though aiming upwards may be a bit of an issue. Now, in terms of consumables, due to the limited rounds available for the Grille 15, I use 15 AP, 15 premium heat, and 0 HE. I also use a repair kit, first aid kit, and a fire extinguisher because of my luck with artillery, but you can swap the fire extinguisher for food if you have the necessary crew skills and perks. For equipment, I run a gun rammer, camo net, and binos to improve the view range and concealment of the Grille 15. But if you prefer a more aggressive approach, you can swap the binos for optics if you wish to do so. Now, how do you play the Grille 15? Well, because of the tier 8 and 9 TDs of the branch, I learned relatively quickly that this tank is almost purely a sniper due to its great gun characteristics, yet horrible base camouflage values without the aid of camo net or skills. While I have been able to play this tank relatively aggressively in the later portion of games, I would not recommend right off the bat for an intermediate player, as you will often be the focus of any tank due to them getting an almost guaranteed pen on your tank, and your success playing like this will depend on whether or not the enemy pays attention to you. Your best bet is to conserve your HP and play the tank as a third-line support tank, sniping at enemies that expose themselves to you, and once the game is turned into a cleanup operation, if it happens like that in the game, you can be more aggressive, as your high alpha damage gun should allow you to take care of most low health tanks with a little risk to yourself. Though, if you encounter an enemy with more health or DPM, it is very advisable to wait for assistance if applicable. Now we have taken a look at how to set up and play the Grille 15. Let's look at some gameplay. So here we are on Sand River Night. I am on the eastern spawn, and it's standard battle. Now looking quickly here at the lineup, I can see that the lineup is kind of even, but we all know matchmaking really isn't the best when it comes to balancing, tanks, tiers, and the like. So my initial plan with this was I was going to go into the top right hand corner, that mountain range. I had a feeling that there was going to be a fight up there. Spoiler alert, turns out I was wrong. Um, but nonetheless, the game was pretty okay. Um, so I'm heading up here because I want to get a height advantage, and I kind of wanted to get some early shots on tanks, trying to get an advantage on my team that I figured would be kind of in that sand bowl that we all know, right there at the bottom of the mountain range, kind of where you see that one medium tank at, along with the heavy. Um, but what we're doing, what I'm doing right now, is I'm going to head up here and try and support the medium tank the best I can. Unfortunately, with the program I'm using, for some reason when I'm editing, it's very blurry and not very clear for me, so I can't really give tank names that well, because I can unfortunately barely read them while I'm recording this. But nonetheless, you can see I'm up here, I'm sitting, I'm waiting for something in front of me to just come into my vision, and normally this is how I'd be playing this tank. Um, like I said, I'm not skilled enough to be able to take this thing aggressively and start playing it like a medium tank. It's very much possible you could play it kind of like a medium tank early on. It's fast enough, but if you are kind of like an intermediate average type of player, I don't really recommend doing that, as you know, if I don't feel comfortable doing that, I don't know if you would. But here we go. This is exactly what I mean right here. Tanks have been spotted by my team. I'm able to just comfortably sit back with the camo net and binos and just punish these tanks without actually even being spotted. But I'm holding my shots. I don't have a whole lot of ammunition, so I can't just be dropping rounds willy-nilly. God, I have not used that term in so long. Goodness. But just not really a whole lot to say here. I'm in the middle of keeping an eye on what's going on in the riverbed, as well as what's going on in front of me. Just trying to see if I can get some tracers here. Seeing right now that there is a push, a significant push from the enemy team in the riverbed, I'm kind of trying to get into a position to where I can kind of do the same thing, just in the opposite direction. Again, this is kind of one of these things that kind of works out in my favor a little bit, kind of doesn't, where the impatience gets ahead of me, and I don't like sitting still all that often. It's probably the reason why I don't like playing these types of tanks all that often. I'm a very naturally aggressive person, but even then I didn't feel comfortable trying to be aggressive in this paper tank. So you see, I figured maybe if I get enough speed I could climb up here. Lo and behold, I actually managed to climb up here. I honestly never saw anyone up here, and I didn't think it was possible. But I got a little bit closer, hoping to be able to spot these tanks. I luckily do. E100 is not paying attention to me at all, and I'm able to put a really nice shot into the side of the tank. Honestly, it didn't even while playing the game, it did not even look like I was going to hit the tank, yet I managed to, and dump a nice good 700 damage into the tank. So as you can see here, just still waiting. Unfortunately here, again, the impatience gets the better of me, and I decide to try and push up more. I'm trying to spot the TD there, and this whole time I was questioning, why am I unable to see this guy? He's just outside my range. Oh, he popped into view. I am trying to track him. Unfortunately, I took that blind shot way too early, and I missed an opportunity to hit the fleeing Grille 15. So kind of like a shark, I sense potential blood in the water, and I get very aggressive again. I do get spotted. Grille luckily is not looking at me, but it's not going to stop me from dropping 700 plus damage into the Grille. Barely managed to avoid a shot from the Andre. Andre is now completely forgotten I'm over here, and he gets taken out before I can finish him off. Again, getting that I hate to say it, but instead of saying the same thing again, I'm just gonna say that bloodlust going right there. You know, I sense damage. I'm licking my lips in anticipation of damage. I see that we've kind of put them into a corner, hypothetically right here, or figuratively. We put these tanks in a corner, so now I'm just going to roll up and just snapshot the Grille 15, knowing I could one-shot him. Moving on here, I am eagerly looking for another opportunity here to either put a shot on the E100 or the Badger, and I'm just going to try and be patient and wait for them to turn their attention elsewhere. I kind of think I might be able to get away with the E100 as I'm looking just in the corner of my eye that I see the Badger looks away, but instead I go for the Badger before the E100 gets taken out, because I figured I might be able to get more damage, but the other tanks managed to take care of it. Now, there's going to be a thing popping up to where the game, why I included this specific replay of why trying to keep your hit points as long as you can. And it's actually a pretty good lesson across all tanks in case of this same situation happening here. What you're going to see here is I actually have a big, huge lag spike here. So I aim in, and all of a sudden I just completely lose I just completely lose connection there for a second. And if I had lost any health, I probably would have been dead, but luckily I managed to survive, and in the case of that huge lag spike and everything, I still managed to take care of the Waffenträger off Panzerfia. So, now I'm a one-shot. My engine's dead. In my haste, I quickly tried to repair my tracks to try and get over the ridge, but, hey, I'm still alive, and the other tanks fired and got away. So now I have to play very, very carefully here. Now, if I was in any other tank, I would have immediately switched to heat, but I didn't really feel like doing that at the moment there. The M103 was not looking at me, so I dump a nice good 600 plus damage shot into the side, managing to track the M103 and get a good healthy amount of track assist on the M103 and winning the game. Overall, I find doing, just over 5k combined damage to be a pretty acceptable contribution to the game as a whole. I'd like to thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed this video, hit that thumbs up, and if you want to see more videos like this one, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and bell icon for notifications. But until next time, this has been Darren of WotC Academy.